Hello everyone. Today we would be performing prediction using decision tree algorithm. The aim of this task is to create a decision tree classifier and visualize it graphically such that when we feed any new data to this classifier, it would be able to predict the right class accordingly. I have made use of Python 3 as a programming language and Jupyter Notebook as the IDE. The type of this task is a decision tree classification. The steps to be followed to create a decision tree classifier is to import and prepare the dataset, visualize and analyze the dataset, prepare the data, design and train the decision tree model, visualize the decision tree model, make predictions, and evaluate the model. So let's get on to it. The step one is to import and prepare the data. Now I have imported the data using sklearn datasets and have stored it into a variable called iris_data. I'm using this to then create a data frame using the values of the data set and along with the columns of the data, which contains a sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and petal width. Next, I'm displaying the feature names. The feature names are basically the names of the columns as we had previously seen here. Next, the target names. The target names are the types of the iris flower classifications that we have, which is setosa, versicolor, and virginica. Next, the iris data target. The iris data target is basically the same as the target names, but the only difference is that it's a numerical value than a string value. I'm now describing the iris data frame, which basically gives us numerical insight on the data that is present, such as the count of the data, what is the average of the data, the standard deviation, the minimum value, the maximum value, and so on. Now, before we get on to building any sort of model, we need to make sure that the data that we have is accurate and there are no null values present in the data. So this is what I'm doing here. I'm trying to find out if there's any null values present in the data set. We don't have any null values, but if they were present, then we would have to either eliminate them or replace them with any null value. Step 2 is to visualize and analyze the data set. Now I'm using the Seaborn library here to use a pair plot graphical method, which usually takes 2 attributes at a time and plots the graph accordingly. So as you can see, we have the attributes on both the axes and we have different pair plots for each attribute. So it takes sepal length and petal width at one graph and sepal length and petal length and in another graph and so on. This way we would be able to find the relationship between the data points. Next, I have again read the same data set, but this time with the species. The previous one, as you can see, did not contain the species. So I'm using this so that we can, you can plot a pair plot with the hues. So the hues are 3 different types for the 3 different classifications of the iris flower, and this is the same pair plotting, as you can see. The different colors represent the different species. The next step is to prepare the data. Now, for preparing the data, I have divided the data into 2 variables, which is x and y. X contains all the values of the attributes of the flower, such as the sepal length, the petal length, the sepal width, the petal, and the petal width. And y contains the target species of the flower, whether it is setosa, virginica, or what was the other one? Versicolor, yes. So I'll just display the x and y variables here so that we can have a better understanding. Next, the next step is to split the data into testing and training sets. So I'm using the sklearn test train split model for this, and I'm just passing the x and y variables, and the test size is going to be 0.20, and the random state is 100. So once that is done, we go on to designing and training the decision tree model. To design a decision tree model, we have imported tree from sklearn, which is basically, we are going to create an object of the decision tree classifier, which I have named it as D-tree. And then I'm going to fit the decision tree classifier using the X-train and the Y-train variables. And we have successfully created a decision tree classifier here. The next step would be to visualize the decision tree model. So I'm using plot tree method from sklearn here, and this is the visualization of the graph. So I'm doing the same thing again using matplotlib, but here using the subplot method. So this is a more better version of the decision tree. So based on what inputs you give, such as the sepal length, the petal length, and so on, it decides that this data point belongs to which class of the iris flower. So the next step would be to make predictions. I'm using a variable called as ypred to store the predictions that we are going to pass. So this is the predictions that we have for the x test variable, which contains the test variables of the sepal length, petal width, and so on that. So once that's done, I'm just importing the pre-processing from sklearn. I'm doing this so that we can convert the ypred values, which are currently in string format, into a numerical value. So once that is done, I'm going to evaluate the model by calculating the accuracy and the F1 score. So the accuracy can easily be calculated by sklearn metrics, and so as the F1 score. So I would be passing the y test and the y prediction. So it will calculate what is the accuracy between the outputs of the y test data and the y prediction data. So I have plotted a data frame for the same, which contains the string values. As you can see, this is the actual value and this is the predicted value for all the test data set. The next step, what I have done is to plot a scatter plot for the sepal length and sepal width of the predicted values. And this is the scatter plot that you can see here. And once that is done, I would be printing a classification report, which gives us information about the precision, recall, F1 score, the accuracy, and so on for all the different species of the flowers. So this gives us a more detailed understanding of how well our algorithm has worked. And once that is done, I have created a confusion matrix, and I'm going to use, I've stored that in a variable called data. And I'm going to be using this data to create a new data frame for the confusion matrix, and using that to plot a heat map for the predicted values. So this is the heat map for the predicted values. And as we can see, since the precision, recall, and the F1 scores are all greater than 90%, we can efficiently say that the model is working really well and the predictions have been accurate. So you can actually see that in the accuracy, which is around you can see an average of 95 to 96%. And so this is the working of the decision tree algorithm. Thank you.